exciting Famicon event in, where do we have it? Maryland, yes, Maryland, Bowie, Maryland. And we were asked by headquarters by Damien and his team to host something similar in our communities to help and activate people to do tribal messiahship, basically. So, but also to share the spirit of what's going around. What's the spirit of what happened at the Famicon, or get a sense of what we did, and yeah. So that's what's going on today. I modified, so I tried to make something that will suit our community. So Triangle Family Church Famicon today. All right, so let's start. So just a little kind of brief overview. Gonna do some Hundoke, reading True Mother's words. Then I'll share a little bit about the national strategy, which we will do, at least as much as we can in our local capacity as well. And then a testimony, and then some time to share and to take action ourselves in our next steps. What would we like to do for our family as Tribal Messiahs? So that's a brief overview of what we're going to do today. We'll take a break. The plan is to take a break during lunch, get food, and then come back and continue. Okay. So, we'll read True Mother's Foundation Day message with the intention of connecting with her heart. Man, sometimes I like to look at True Mother and just think about, what's she thinking about, what's her, amazing, right? She looks great and looks also serious, but not sad, which I'm glad. She looks serious but not sad. All right. Let's read. Okay. True Mother 2019 Foundation Day Address. Beloved blessed families from around the world, today is the day we celebrate the fourth. Yeah, go ahead, yeah. If you. I don't know.
Which one? Which one? It's over there.
You know what?
No. I think that's the same.
Very nice.
Great, all right. All right. Beloved blessed families from around the world, today is the day we celebrate the 4th anniversary of Chanilguk Foundation Day. Through True Parents' victory over the dark and gloomy 6,000-year providence of restoration to indemnity, we are arriving at a new spring where new hope can come. The movement of all nature as it wakes up from the long winter sleep to greet spring gives hope for the future. Through True Parents, we could pass through the dark human history and are able to arrive at this miraculous spring. 4 years have passed since we greeted this spring. These 4 years refer to settlement on earth. Then, what must we do? Heavenly Parents' dream, humanity's wish, is only achievable through True Parents' advent. The 7.4 billion people must be aware of True Parents. All of you in blessed families must tell your own nations, indeed the world, about True Parents' manifestation. You need to convince people that providential occurrences have been taking place around the world because of True Parents. Adieu.
Adieu.
In order to do that, unlike the present age in which you only need to follow, you must take, unlike the present age. Okay, I guess we're in a new age, not in the present age. You must take the initiative and lead with all your energy to expand True Parents Foundation. Therefore, UPF and WFWPI should unite. The recently established IAPP will completely invest in all respects to support and educate each nation. So, International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. I am asking you to lead the way to realize Heavenly Parents' great wish, the dream heaven hopes for. I think I did a sermon about this part of this message. You all long for the unification of this nation, North and South Korea. We must unite God's homeland. For that, I've given them, IAPP and other organizations, this special mission. And we will make effort to achieve this peacefully. Only true parents can solve all the problems that are occurring throughout the world. And that is why you must proudly boast and testify about true parents. Will you do that?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, True Mother. Okay, now let's take a minute. If you could, turn on the lights, thank you. Please find somebody next to you and share what stood out for you in the message. So, how does this speech make you feel, and what are some highlights that stand out for you? So just take 2 minutes each and share with the person sitting next to you. These have been kind of continuously modified a few times, but I feel like that's awesome that, we can be connected in that way. So like the slides are passed down to Reverend Pan. Reverend Pan modified them for his community and passed them down to me, and I modified Reverend Patton's a little bit more for our community. So I'm grateful for Reverend Pan to take time to give me his slides. Okay, our world today, so this is True Parents and the Completed Testament Age. This is from True Parents and the Completed Testament Age. Our world today is not filled with happiness or peace. The true solution to our problems has to come from God. And not only must we deal with the phenomenal aspects of the problems, we have to reveal the original root in order to bring a solution. If God's original ideal has been realized, there would have been no need for a Messiah or for God's providence to save humanity. Adam's family would have been the center of the ideal clan, nation, and world. It would have been the blueprint for all families of the future. It would have been the model for the realization of God's ideal world. So, we did not create an ideal family. Therefore, we do need the Messiah to create God's ideal. We need to go to the root. What's the root? God. Yes. And what's our connection to God? Yeah, lineage. I mean, I interpret this as the lineage. We have to go to the root to bring a solution. The root of the problems, at least. Okay. Next slide. So, what's our national mission for this year? Every family blesses 430 in 2019. Is that a big goal or not? It's not. Great. We have someone that's optimistic. Thank you, Maya. That's what we need, right? The
You
youth.
can only count to 40.
All right. Every family blesses 430 in 2019. I mean, amazing. All right. Biggest challenge. We have only 1 year left. I was reading True Mother's Anthology. I've been reading True Mother's Anthology, and or was it but True Mother talked about how she made a promise to God, right? That she would build God's kingdom on earth. She made a promise that her life would be God for God. Even when she was a young girl, even when she was, and I remember in one speech she's talking about, do you know, she says, I made a promise to God, and she's talking to the leaders, and she says, do you understand? And I just thought, wow, like, it kind of like had a new meaning to me. She's trying to express how big of a deal it is that I promised God, when I promise God, I'm going to do it, no matter what, is what I heard from her when she says that, is I promised it, no matter what is going to happen. So what does that mean? I mean, maybe that means True Mother will give her life until this time. Probably. She'll give everything that she has to make it happen. Just such a commitment, and really, as children, we want to do what we can, everything we can for supporting her. So this is the strategy for this year, and I think we've heard, especially at least I have, about these three, witnessing, environment, and youth, but I'm really grateful for the added vertical portion of attendance, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So there's four pillars: attendance, travel messiahship, creating an environment, and leadership development. So attendance, true parents, and the word. True Mother's Anthology. That's the book that we are being asked to read at the moment. I've really been enjoying it. Anybody enjoying reading True Mother's Anthology? You're not just saying that, you actually enjoy it? Okay.
Serena raised your hand.
Oh, okay. Serena. Great. Yeah, it's really wonderful. It's a combination of getting to hear stories, right? Real stories of True Mother's life, plus True Mother's speeches. And she talks about travel messiahship as well, which is relevant. So attendance, what are some ways? These are all ways that we are, as a country, fulfilling this, or ways that you can do. You can work on, you can offer attendance. 365 prayer condition. Do you remember this initiative? We had an initiative to pray for 365 days for 24/7. Still available to sign up to pray at some time. So prayer, basically. We have the weekly national prayer call right now. It's been going on for a long time, but every Wednesday at 9 p.m. praying together. And then another way of attendance is attending True Mother, welcoming True Mother, being with her. I think, to me, this is not this point necessarily specifically, but the attendance as a whole is so valuable and so important because it gives you perspective. It gives you that vertical center to help you in anything that you want to do. Even anytime I have like a trouble with my fallen nature, I try to do my Hundake condition, and then it's like water flowing through the dirt inside of me. We're going to have rallies this year all over the country, with one very soon, right? There are really miracles happening every day. If you want to get like daily dose of miracles, you should follow Damien on on Facebook, because he posts, like, he's sharing the mobilization work that's happening right now in Las Vegas about, you know, huge prayer breakfasts that are happening every week in Los Angeles, you know, about how I just watched last night Reverend Larry Krishnek's, our regional leader, is sharing about how they've outgrown their church right now for their prayer breakfast. They can't have them at church anymore, and I'm pretty sure they have a really large banquet hall. So, you know, amazing things are going on. Okay, the second point is tribal messiahship, witnessing. Well, I thought this point was something that I think a lot of people will be happy to see, which is revitalized 100% of blessed families is greater than tribal messiahship. To me, that means if we're all taking our step, if we're all moving, if we have the water flowing of True Mother's words and then taking some step, taking some action, and flowing ourselves, moving with True Mother's words, that's more important than maybe the typical concept of tribal messiahship. So let's take some step. Let's encourage others to take some step. Let's be revitalized. Let's maybe break away some of the concepts that we have about tribal messiahship and, I don't know, open up our minds. All right. Teamwork and support, man. Okay, Tribal Messiah Victors. This is a picture of all the Tribal Messiah Victors at TribeNet, which was the Tribal Messiah meeting in Las Vegas. And yeah, you can see some of them. Let's see if anybody that would be recognized from around here. Yeah, it doesn't see. Maybe some of you know that you know says. But you want to say something?
No, I just said we were in Washington, so
Yeah.
that wasn't ours.
Right. Well, who was here? The Oyamas went to this event. This was in before my family conference. Okay, teamwork and support. So we have teamwork, we have support. There is support. We want to start tracking more. We want to start measuring so that we can see what's successful, what works, what doesn't work. How are we doing that? There's something called TribeNet, which is, there's a Facebook group, there's and then there's people who have there's calls about it. I think this is very inspiring as an engineer. maybe just because I'm an engineer. But looking to see what's working and not working is very important to have growth. We have had 100% growth between 2017 and 2018. Right? Accomplished Heavenly Tribal Messiahs. What does that mean? 430 people. Someone that has blessed 400, couples that have blessed 430 people. We have had 100% growth from 2017 to 2018. Does that make sense? Yeah.
1,000.
Is it 1,000?
Yeah. 100 would just be double.
Oh, right. Anyways, yes, something. A huge growth. I was amazed by that. There's online education. So part of this presentation is to let you know what are some of the things that are available for you if you choose. New website has been made called tribenet.co. Actually, I am personally working on this, number 1, which is basically the main goal is to create, eventually the goal is to create an app that people can use to help them to reach and connect with and keep in touch with and educate eventually their tribe. So it's going to go into, it's going to be launching soon. okay, I think we have online support. There's 450 people have been on at once, have been on the weekly Child Messiah call. I'm sure, I know some of you have been on this, or maybe most of you. This is the Tuesday call. Dr. Hendricks shared his testimony, I know. Maybe others have. What's the other part of Child Messiahship? Blessing our ancestors. So if you're inspired about focusing on blessing your ancestors as your next step for Child Messiahship, then take that as your next step. Blessing our neighborhood. And really, a big part is working with Christianity. One thing that I feel God's telling me to do is to start to connect with, I see these young pastors that are sharing Christianity through social media. They're sharing about Christianity online. They're sharing about Jesus' word online. They also have young children. And I'm like, I really should connect with these people. They're basically just like me. Who knows what, maybe we can, what could we do together? Maybe even through the internet. But that's what speaks to me. All right, environment. Okay, I think we have new leadership for ACLC, Dr. Kim Rouse, Mr. Reverend Dr. Rouse. He's actually coming to Maryland. If you want to see him soon, you can go there.
Also, he's on the ACLC calls now, every week. He's speaking.
I really feel that working with Christianity is the way that we can be successful. At least in terms of reaching many people. And people are ready. Look at this. Can you imagine having a chapter of ACLC in every single state, right? That's a goal. An active chapter. Prayer breakfast in 50 states. So can you imagine Reverend Noel Jones? This is the story that I heard. He's the one that's hosting True Mother on April 6th, right? Can you imagine that a pastor from America invited True Mother to come to see to his church? With how many months notice? 4 months notice, maybe 5 months notice, I don't know. Let's say 6 months notice even. But this is, I think it's really a miracle that True Mother's coming. I know that this is a really, really wonderful, very well-known pastor, but it's amazing. I heard that what happened was Jones invited True Mother. He said, "Can you come on this date?" And Dr. Kim was sharing. He said, I really didn't think that True Mother would be able to make it, but I asked her, and True Mother accepted. I said okay, and she accepted the invitation, and she was thinking about it, or was thinking about the invitation, and then got back to Dr. Kim and said to Dr. Kim, if he can do it on April 6th, then I will come. How old is True Mother now? 76. And doing world tours. Just amazing. Anyways, I really feel that with True Mother, with this foundation, the spirit world that we have, these things are happening already. There's so much that we can do. We also have new leadership in UPF, Reverend Jenkins, Archbishop Stallings. And then something else that we're doing, this is all about preparing the environment, right? We're also going into I don't know what's the word, but into public, right? You know, we have hired a communications director who's really awesome. I get to work with her from time to time, Nancy Judd, who does PR for our movement and other things. You know, addressing some negative media coverage that we received on NBC News, this was. We have New York Times articles that are coming now, Unification parents are primary matchmakers for their children. We have True Mother in Times Square. So, to me this is inspiring because we're looking to really do things differently, and I think in an important way, through media to promote our True Mother. All of the, you know, there's a few different ones. This is somehow Peace Prize, True Mother, again. We're also using social media, which is really exciting for me. One of the ways that I keep in touch with our movement as a young person. I think extremely important and could be a complete heavenly miracle that can happen through social media if we catch a wave. It's, you know, totally incredible. I mean, there are people that tell stories and draw. I just saw Thomas. There are people that draw stories, right, and say stories and draw animation on YouTube, and they have like millions and millions of people that watch them. They're just telling stories about high school or whatever. I mean, if we can catch some of those people, there's huge potential. There's a website being created for True Mother, who is the Mother of Peace, right? That can be shared with anybody. Okay, and then leadership development, the final point. A lot about focusing on youth. One thing I want to highlight is CARP. This is one of the CARP trips. I know some of our members had an inspiring time at CARP workshop about a year or so or more ago. Hyojung trip, 360 participants. This is a trip to Korea and Japan in the summer. Korea, Japan, and America. So maybe 120 from each country. We have colleges that are paying for 30 students and 2 professors to attend Introduction to Principal workshop. Parents of new CARP members becoming blessed. I also heard this testimony from a young second gen who overcame his issues, I guess, with his parents, and has 2, now he shared with one of his best friends in college about true parents and the divine principle. He started reading with them divine principle, and now his parents are helping him educate his friend, inviting his friend over. Basically, his friend has become part of his family, and what his friend said to him is, "Thank you so much. I never felt like I had a family, and now, finally, with your family, I feel like I have a family." So, every family blesses 430 in 2019. How can create victory in 2019? Now, I was talking about the water analogy a bit earlier, talking about moving water. One of the reasons why I mentioned that is because I spoke to another pastor, second-gen pastor, a few days ago, preparing for this event, and she shared with me a passage from True Mother's anthology that talks about moving water and how to connect to God by, you know, all water, moving water must come together to join the main stream. And so she told me, oh, she's like, yeah, I thought, wow, that's such an inspiring quote. Thank you. Can you share that? Can you send that to me? So she sent it to me, and I was actually planning to share it here. And then, literally, last night, I'm doing my Hundape, and I'm on the exact same page that she asked me. Like, by coincidence, on the same passage that this other pastor asked me to read. So, I guess, true mother, true. The Spirit world is telling us this is very important. And to me, what this passage is talking about is uniting. And I think there's two aspects. One is working together, us working together. Two is just, you know, connect with True Mother, connect with our leadership, connect with people, right? Let's unite together with heaven and miracles can happen. And that's also what Reverend Patton put in his slide. How are we going to achieve unity? This is from his presentation. Our commitment to unity is how we can achieve victory in 2019. Are we going to do this alone? Can we bless 430 families by ourselves? Well, how can we create victory? Our commitment to unity, then Spirit will bring amazing people and events. So, Heavenly Child Messiahship is the foundation to move the spirit world and to restore our nation. And other countries have had the same experience, and we're seeing that as well. It's not, you know, it's not by human effort alone that many things, I mean, I know all of you, many of you have experienced this, right, where you set your mind to something, and then you unite with, you achieve it. Amazing things are achieved. And every person's Heavenly Child Messiahship success is crucial to our national foundation. Thank you, true parents. Thank you, everybody. Year of Miracles. Okay, let's give a round of applause for the presentation from Reverend Patton, from Josh, from God, from Damien, true parents. All right, that concludes this. Okay, so.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
So, where to begin? Okay, I will just explain how Sharon and I went out and got the 430 people. Okay. Now I think of what Mr. Asada mentioned about motivation and purpose and clarifying these things. This is important, but I've been asked to give this. This is a very simple testimony. First of all, it was Sharon, my wife, who started to really become serious about giving the blessing to other people. And she became serious about giving the blessing to other people because what's her name? Claudette Cabrera started becoming serious herself about going out and giving the blessing. This was, I guess, about 2 years ago, right? This was before it was sort of like declared that all of us should go out and get 430. But somehow the members like Claudette got it in their mind, and she actually started going where she used to sell roses to car dealers and things. She started going out with a picture of her family, and she started actually giving people the blessing. And that inspired people, some people. Then Sharon was, communicating with her constantly and became obsessed and possessed and dominated by the concept, we need to do that too because God wants to do that. And she started doing the same thing. Even if we were in a restaurant and we were eating, then she would start to bring out the holy wine and the pictures to the waitress, and no matter what we did, and believe me, I felt very awkward and uncomfortable, but you can't argue with, doing something like going out and giving people the blessing. I mean, for God's sakes, let's be honest, it's not a bad thing to do to someone, right? so I somehow, amidst all of my struggles in my life, I made a determination, damn it, I'm going to support my wife, and I'm going to help her do this. And once I did that, then we decided, we made the plan to do it in a more reasonable way. Somehow Dr. Hendricks came, he was connected, he got involved, he started going out himself, we went to Walmarts, we were going up and approaching people at Walmarts and giving them the blessing right there when they were getting into their cars. It's all very awkward and unusual and strange and weird, but by golly, people are good people, and if you approach people and you have a good heart, they'll do what you want them to do. Like Jack says, you can't believe it that these people would actually take holy wine or something from us on the streets, but they do, because people are people. So, I personally, in order for me to be able to do it comfortably, I wanted to do it in a less aggressive way, and I wanted to do it with a table, and I decided, I got the inspiration, we make a picture of ourselves when we were first blessed, when we were young, and we put that on the table, and instead of using, the holy wine cups that's something very religious, we blessing the lemonade and making sure we have lemonade on the table. And then we made a very big picture of our blessing, Madison Square Garden, with father and mother giving the blessing to the 2,075 couples. So then we put this on the table. We have the picture of us, the picture of the blessing, and we have the holy lemonade there on the table. And then we have the big sign, blessing 1 million around America, or Family Federation blesses 1 million couples around America, something like that. And then you have the clipboard, you have the 4 key points that they have to admit to or confess to, or those are the wrong words. Commit to. I'm not going to, we're not going to have sex outside of the marriage. We're going to raise our children to be pure. We believe that blessing is for all. Blah, blah. And then you have a place for their name. Then you go there, and so you have a clipboard. Then we had to find the right place. Walmarts were not the right place for me. But we started to go to the parks, Pullen Park. And we found out that in the front of Pullen Park, families coming and going. Hey, set up a table. But unfortunately, eventually Pullen Park said, I'm sorry, because you're giving out something to drink. You can't be here. Okay, so then we ended up downtown in front of the legislative building, across the street from there, where they have the museums. And families come and go to the museums. And so we would go out there, we set up the little table, we put the lemonade, we have the pictures of ourselves, and we have the clipboard, and we go out, and we approach people, hey, are you married? Oh, look, come here. See this? This is a picture of my wife and I. 36 years ago we got married. Look at this. We were married at Madison Square Garden, 2,075 couples. That's right in Mrs. Moon right there. And we're somewhere in... But we really believe that the marriage is important, so we want to give you the same blessing that we received. We want to give to your blessing. So we're drinking a toast. We're toasting people's marriage and making like a little ceremony of recommitting. And all you have to do is sign up here, and then sign up, and we're going to take the lemonade. Oh, your wife drinks it first, and then she gives it to you, and you guys, let's pray together. Something like that, okay? I rushed through it, but it was very simple. For me, it was very simple. Now, for Sharon, she wants it, she wants to have the holy water there. She wants them to face each other. She tells them to say something lovingly. I mean, she extends it. She expands it. She makes it something that she feels comfortable with. She makes it a more holy experience, even there on the street. For me, I just wanted to get them, sign here and drink this. Sign here and drink this. Thank you very much. Hey, you, sign here and drink this. Hey, sign here and drink. Not exactly, but you get my point. I just wanted to, and like I said, people are people. People are good. We're all good people. People know marriage is good, marriage is precious, marriage is important, families are important. You have a little, even though, I played on the fact that I knew this is unusual to be married with a mass wedding. And some people remembered, especially we would meet people, we met a lot of people from New York and stuff. And some older people remembered, yeah, I remember that. You guys were in that. That was in the Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Nobody was negative. I have to tell you, first, this is very important. Almost nobody is negative about any of this. Okay? Maybe they say, oh, I don't want to do that, or, they walk away, they're not interested in talking to you. Like any normal person, when you approach a stranger on the street, a lot of people, they don't want to talk to you for whatever reason. But no one was really negative about, wanting to have someone pray for, and this is very useful and very important also. You make it clear, we want to give a blessing. We want to, give a blessing to your marriage. The same way we feel our marriage was blessed, we're happy, we have children and grandchildren now. We want to give a blessing, make a new beginning for your marriage. And, let's toast. I use the word toast because I didn't feel the need to explain in detail. This is holy wine. You're changing your lineage. Sharon does. Sharon even says, oh, you have to, the wife has to drink this first because Eve fell first. Eve fell first. And so the wife, she says Eve and Adam, and, maybe sometimes I would mention it, maybe I wouldn't. But the point is, I felt comfortable doing it this way, okay? I felt comfortable because, I don't mind going up, hey, look at this. That's my wife. This is what we used to look like 36 years ago. Look, we were married at Madison Square Garden. Isn't that incredible? So, yeah, wow, that was, it gets people, wow, really? They look at the picture of this mass wedding and, wow, that's weird or interesting. Say, yeah. And then, we want to give the same blessing. This is a key point. We want to give the same blessing. We want to support your marriage. We want to help you or your family. And now, sometimes, we would have very deep conversations. And people, we would meet people that very day was the first time that they got back together with each other after being separated. Or that was their anniversary that day. Or, many deep points and things. And it's amazing, and it's very simple. It's really very simple. And people are trusting, even though you're there on the street. People buy food on the street all the time. I mean, this is the age of, food trucks, right? People buy food from the street, taking lemonade from some stranger is not a big deal. People trust. This is America. This is the age of after the coming of the kingdom of heaven. So that's lineage. Yeah, Sharon really wants me to mention lineage because this is a key point too. Okay, it's true. Why are we giving this blessing? Because we are connecting these people back to God through us, through true parents. Okay, through us, through true parents. They are making a connection, a condition to, leave Satan and connect to God. And that's the lineage. And that's what the meaning of drinking the holy wine is. They're, without even being aware of it, themselves, they are leaving, the dominion of Satan and entering the dominion of God, if we really understand the significance of the blessing. So what could be better for someone's life than that? So in my mind, I believe all the people that receive the blessing, anyone that ever drank any of the holy wine, that they are under the dominion of God. Now, they might not be good people. They might not understand a lot of things. They might still do a lot of bad things, but they are no longer under Satan's authority. They are under God's authority. So God is now responsible to help those people to change their lives and to find the way to become better. So that's the way, our family only finished the 430 because Sharon really was so dedicated and committed. Otherwise, I promise you, I wouldn't have done it. But having done it, and it's not a difficult thing to do. So the important thing is each person here is going to have to, kind of find your motivation. And if you want help, we'll help. We can go out and do it with you. And it doesn't have to be like, Sharon does it very, I don't do it that way. But whatever's comfortable, whatever's you feel, setting up a table at the St. Patrick's Day parade or whatever it could have been. Anyway, that's my testimony about actually going out and getting the 430. And we, as time went on, we became aware that it would have been nice if we would have kind of spent a little more time with each couple and gotten a little bit better information. Please print a little more clearly this email, or do you have a number that we can, but we didn't really do that. So a lot of these people, we're never going to see them again. Also, a lot of them were, they were tourists. Many of them were tourists, around that area. So they came and they went, and that's it. But according to the rules, they're part of the 430, and we have more than 430, of course. Now it's close to 500 because who doesn't stop at 430. So that was what we did, and I mean, everyone is going to have a different testimony and do it different. So I want Sharon to come up and share a little bit. Now she can.
I'm not sure if Josh is going to do this, but I wish each one of us can really find out. It took me like a whole year to find the same to do it. I had many things like Mr. Asada was saying, he's asking this question that everybody's asking. We already did it in 2008, or whatever was in 1998, and we've got papers and we've done it. Now what the heck, why are we doing it again? But you have to, I challenge you, please, you will not go through your 430 if you do not wrestle internally about what is stopping you from doing it. Is it because you've already done it in 1998 and you don't think there's any reason or purpose to do it again? Is it because you're shy? Is it because you don't believe it'll make a difference? Whatever it is, you've got to find the answer to that. Whatever it is, because then you cannot move forward. And John gave his testimony, but my first 90 or 80 were people I knew. My ambassadors for peace, people I've known for 20 years. I went to go visit them, but it was taking too long. We went one time 2.5 hours, 3 hours to bless somebody. So, but of course, we've learned from our mistakes, like John said, correct emails, correct telephone numbers. That's why I'm going, This week I already did 8 of my really good people. I went to go visit people that I didn't give the blessing. blessing to. So I feel strongly in my conscience, they're in my heart and my mind, people I know that I haven't given the blessing to, and I must give it to them. You know, I'm thinking, how am I going to go to Arkansas and bless John's relatives? My sister and I are going to go probably to England. I want to bless my cousins. You know, you have to, and the first 5 months, I had holy wine in my purse all the time. I told myself, I am going to have the holy wine in my purse and have it in my car. It's just as an offering that I'm serious until I get serious, right? Because we're all in different situations. It can take you not till you get to 4:30 to really realize why the heck you're doing it. Or your heart finally opens up and you understand. My father keeps talking about home church. My father keeps talking about tribal messiahship and mother. Because people receive it from you because of the relationship you have. They want to take it from you, your neighbors, the people your children play with, because they've noticed you, they've watched you, and they see you're a good couple, you're a good family. And whatever you do must be good, even though they don't understand the spiritual stuff or anything going on, but they're going to do it because of you. You represent God, no matter how fallen we are, how much fallen nature we have. In our fallen state, here we are. And they will listen to you and they want to take it. I've heard so many testimonies of people crying and thanking us for doing a blessing their marriages. So you'll have some incredible testimonies, and that will help you so much along the way. But if you don't do it, you won't have anything. So you kind of have to take a leap of faith and just start it. But first, internally, find out what is stopping you from giving the greatest gift in the whole universe to people, to change their blood lineage, to be part of our true parents. And if you saw them in the spirit world, they would say, "Hey, Stephanie, yeah, I know you came to my house and you gave me some of this thing, you know? Yeah, I think why did you do that, you know?" And Stephanie will just smile and hold their hand. And then they'll know, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for loving me enough. Thank you for caring for me. I'm in a different mode now, Now I'm getting more serious about talking about true parents, true mother, because I'm just so proud of what our movement is doing. Guys, if you lose hope, you want to see miracles, go to our websites, Family Federation, The Blessing, ACLC, UPF, Parliamentarians for Peace, Presidents of Countries. People are listening to the principles of peace. We're the only one that says God is the solution to change this world. But sad to say, everybody now is misunderstanding God, blah, 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 and you have to deal with all that mess. But lately, and I'm getting the blessing, I really want to say Mother Moon, Mother and Father, for 60 years, they worked so hard for peace, and family is forever. And everybody can relate to that. Family is forever. And they all go, yeah, you better believe it. I say, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican or politics, throw it out the window, but it's your family. Love and family is forever. And so many times they take it because, okay, this is about family values, I'm going to stay with my wife, I make jokes, you're going to stay with your wife for a few more years, I guess I'll keep her, And your kids, and if you can get your kids to take the holy wine. But folks, I just strongly suggest you're not going to have all the solutions at the beginning when you go out. You're not going to have all the solutions. And if you expect to have all the solutions to go out, you'll never go out. It took me a year, so many things in my mind, and this and that, and blah, 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 it doesn't matter, no. But you know what, you just got to bite the bullet, and you just got to start doing it. And I tell you, God is really there. And also, I just love going out with John, It was so fun to be with John, it got us closer together. I really appreciate it so much. And so whatever way you want to do it, I know Tyler, us, Tim, I'm sure we're all here for you. But but